Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Mavit Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Vasudevendra Yogindram Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnana Gurum Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshu Nam Hitartaya Mumukshu Nam Hitartaya Tattva Bodho Vidiyate Tattva Bodho Vidiyate. We have been studying this Tattva Bodha for the last 2-3 weeks, and it's a text which is given in prose order, and it is said to be given by Adi Shankaracharya. An enlightened soul has given it, and it is attributed to Adi Shankaracharya. We don't know whether it was actually given by Adi Shankara or anybody else, but it doesn't really matter. And the Guru here clearly says that when he is praying before starting the text, he very clearly says this is being expounded, this knowledge is being expounded for the benefit of the seekers. So those who are qualified and are seeking the truth, this knowledge will help, which we have explained before, that when you are really deeply qualified, moksha is almost instantaneous. Only when you're not qualified, it takes time, because firstly, inside we need to be qualified. Moksha is a big word. It's a very, very big word. Everybody keeps using, and a lot of people are in fact confused by thinking moksha means going to heaven. I want to attain moksha. What? I just have to go to some heaven. So if I do some lot of punya activities, I'll get ticket to go to heaven. So this is what people think. That is moksha. So I explained to you last week that moksha, from the practical point of view, when you look at it, what does it mean? It means being in the present totally, living moment to moment, with no identification with the past or the future. When we even talk about the goal of Swarga, it is about future. I'll have to do some action here and gain punya, which will give me a seat in heaven, which is completely different. Something I want to achieve in future. So these are all mind-driven. So 4 goals we discussed: Artha, Kama, Dharma, Moksha. Artha, Kama, Dharma, they are mind-driven goals. When you understand the very nature of the mind as anitya, and anything you achieve and pacify the mind is also going to be anitya. So then I will not be interested in anitya. I am only interested in nitya. Nothing impermanent, but only permanent. Then what is it? When I start seeking that, then I get qualified for spiritual study. So here, this is what he said. And then when he started, he gave the importance of sadhana chatushtayam, the 4-fold qualifications. He said, we shall explain to those who are endowed with 4-fold qualifications the mode of inquiry into the reality, which is the means of liberation. So, the means for liberation is what? Inquiry. See, anywhere we get caught, we get bound only when we don't think. Take, for example, nowadays, wherever you go, you will find some counter trying to convince you to get a credit card from them. Even in the airport, they catch you. Everywhere they catch you. And supposing you don't think clearly and then you go for it, when you already have too many and you don't think and you go for it, now you don't understand that you are getting trapped. In the sense, it's not by them, it's by your own desires. You have too many desires, you have no control over them, and you have a credit card. When you go right in front of the object, what will happen? Objects we compare to Wali. Wali, whoever comes in front of Wali, as per Ramayana, will get 50% of their power. So if you go, whatever power you have, 50% will go to him. And he already has some power. So he will finish you off. So objects, when we go in front of it, without inner readiness, inner preparedness, we'll be finished. And then on top of it, all these cards and all that, we are bound. So the bondage is because of unthinking living. That's all it is. No alertness, no awareness, just mechanical existence, no exercise of our discriminating ability. We get bound. Buy one, get three free. No question is asked, do I have to buy this one? I already have too many. Do I need one more? Just because they are giving buy one, get three free, I'll buy. Now I'm buying one. Any fool will give one cost for one and three more extra. Nobody will give. Obviously, it is all, sales pitch, marketing pitch. So, no thinking, and we just buy. So, bondage is when you are not aware, when you are not thinking. So, those of you who have been attending my sessions for long know that I give one example in this context, and that is of playing with this mala. As I am talking to you all, I play with this mala, and then I can make knots out of it. I can tie it up. I don't have to really focus and then make knots. You understand? As I am playing, somehow I can make a knot. Then, if I have to remove the knot, can I remove it without focusing, without awareness? Not possible. When I have to remove the knot, I have to focus. Then slowly remove. Which one to remove first? Because in a hurry, if I do, I may break the mala. So to get trapped, to get into bondage, we don't have to think. But to free ourselves from bondage, we need to think. We need to question. So everybody, whoever has achieved freedom in this world from whatever, it was because they questioned. What is science, which is giving us a better living now? It is through questioning, isn't it? So the fact that they questioned, they've come up with a lot of inventions and discovery. So the way to liberation is inquiry. Remember this. But to inquire, you need a calm, peaceful mind. And for a calm, peaceful mind to do inquiry, A calm place is conducive. Simply because you go to one calm place doesn't mean you will be able to think. When you go to a calm place, you can inquire. It is conducive. That's about it. Isn't it? Now, in fact, in our this class also we are doing online, but ideally if we do this in person, it's even better because we will be focusing there. The place will be conducive. Now, when you are in your house, how far your house is convenient, I don't know. How much you have told your people to, what do you call, keep quiet, not disturb you. Have you put your phone on silent mode? I have no idea. Right? But when you come to the class, all these things are taken care of. So a calm, quiet place is conducive. It's not directly helpful. It is indirectly helpful. In the sense what I'm trying to say is just because you go from the city to Himalayas doesn't mean that you immediately start inquiring and then you will liberate. There are people who go to Himalayas and then get idea that we should start one Himalayan silk store here. They're full of those kind of desires. Baba, so many people are coming and a lot of people from the West are also coming. So it's a good place to start one silk store. You may start a silk store there. Who knows? So this is how it works. If I want to free myself from the bondage, especially the most, dangerous bondage is the bondage to the mind, to our own mind. We are all bound to the likes and dislikes of our mind. And if I want to be free from that, I need to start my thinking, inquiring, questioning. For that, I need a calm place. If I can't get a calm place, at least let me get a quiet time. That is possible. Early morning, 4 to 6, called as Brahma Muhurta, is conducive. In fact, nearby the place where I live, there is one alcohol shop. And I saw the board there, the timings, I happened to go to don't think why this fellow went there. I went to some other place next to that, and then I saw the board which said, opens at 8 a.m., closes at 4 a.m. Opening time 8 a.m., closing time 4 a.m. Oh my God. When we say in scriptures, you wake up, they go to sleep. So the whole world, majority of them are resting. It's very quiet. So that's why it is mentioned in the scriptures, and especially if you've had good rest, good sleep, your faculties also would have got rejuvenated in the morning. External environment is quiet. Inner personality is ready. You can do the inquiry properly. That's why they say, wake up during Brahma Muhurta and do your inquiry. Those people who have evolved a lot more, they do meditation, etc. during the time. It's very conducive for very subtle experiments. So, moksha ke liye you need to have this questioning ability. You have to question everything. Otherwise, there is no way. So, to question, your mind has to help, cooperate. So, if you have prepared with these qualifications, it helps further. So, then he gets on to, discussing about these fourfold qualifications. What are these fourfold qualifications? Sadhana chatushtaya kim? He said, Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha. then vairagya, then sixfold qualifications or sixfold wealth: shama, dama, uparama, etc. He'll explain that. Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, he says. Sampatti means, Sampadyam, Sampatti means earnings, wealth. The real wealth is this sixfold traits. So, Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti, and then Mumukshatvam, the burning desire to liberate. You cannot see somebody is not at all interested in waking up and is pretending to be sleeping. You cannot wake that fellow. It's not possible. You cannot wake up that guy. Somebody who is genuinely sleeping, you can wake up. But somebody who's pretending to be sleeping, you cannot wake up. So, if you have that burning desire to liberate, then only you will get into all this. Otherwise, you're not interested. It is just tamasha for you. So, he says, first you need to have these four qualifications. Viveka, discrimination between eternal and ephemeral. Vairagya, dispassion towards the pleasures in the present and the pleasures that could be attained in future. Basically, a mind which has understood its true value. That's what it means. We'll explain all that. Then the sixfold traits, what he calls as wealth. And then mumukshatva. Now, one by one, he goes to explain what are these. I think in this we just started that Nitya Anitya Viveka, isn't it? Am I right? Anybody? Or did we also start Vairagya? I think we just did Nitya Anitya Viveka. Viveka only we were doing last week. Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha Kaha. That's the question. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vitiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. So, what is this Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka? What is this big thing? He says, what is meant by discrimination between the permanent and impermanent? Nitya Vastu means permanent. Anitya Vastu means impermanent. So, Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivekaha means discrimination between what is permanent and what is impermanent. And then he says, coming to a conclusion, what? Nitya Vast Ekam Brahma. Nitya Vast Ekam Brahma. That Brahman alone is Nitya Vastu. That alone is reality. Tat Vitiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Leaving that aside, everything else is Anityam. Ayameva Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. This conviction alone is the discrimination between the permanent and the impermanent. This conviction alone. This is called Viveka. So, what he's trying to say, how do you come to this conclusion that Brahman alone is real, everything else is unreal? You don't know anything about Brahman. You remember? You only know what is the world, right? You don't know anything. You have three equipments: body, mind, intellect. With the body, which is housed with organs of perception, you see, hear, smell, taste, touch. With the mind, you feel. With the intellect, you question, think. You can conceive thoughts. So, these things you have to question. Start questioning your perceptions. What I see, hear, smell, taste, touch. Then what I feel, what I conceive. And question these equipments also. All this, when you question, one thing you clearly see is that all these are passing, fleeting, and changing. They are not permanent. Everything is changing. You're not permanent. Now, a change is not possible to be noticed without a changeless substratum. Now, you have sophisticated trains. When you're sitting in them and you're moving, you won't even know that you're moving. How do you know? When you see trees or in a station, if there are pillars which are moving, and they have numbered the pillars, so oh, I am moving. So, the movement, the change is noticed with reference to a changeless entity. So everything is changing. The one who is aware of it, when I see, I'm aware of it. So the one who is aware, the subject, that consciousness is there in everything, changeless. It is beyond time, space, causation. That consciousness is Brahman. Brahat tamatvat iti Brahma. That which is big. Big means infinite, which has no beginning, no end, no boundary, no beginning, no form. That is Brahman. That is that consciousness that is always existing. Sat Chit. And when you are in that consciousness with no desires, you are in absolute Ananda. So it is Sat Chit Ananda. That alone is real. That is Sat. That's all he's saying. Nitya Vastvekam Brahma Tadvitiriktam Sarvam Anityam. All are impermanent. They are not permanent. The only thing that is permanent is Brahman. Now, once we do this discrimination, we don't do this discrimination. Where are we doing this discrimination? All our discrimination are between what is pleasant and what is good. In fact, we don't care about what is good. We go with what is pleasant. We are not interested. So we do all other kinds of discrimination. We are doing discrimination between Anitya Vastu and Anitya Vastu. Isn't it? We are using our intellect and deciding, should I go to Far East or should I go to Middle East? This year's vacation, where should I go? So all our thinking is in this realm. No questioning, why am I going for this vacation? Seeking, what am I going? And I've also gone to many vacations in the past. I've also seen many places. And what did I seek there? Happiness. Have I got that happiness? Do I want to go to Middle East or Far East out of happiness? Or is it to find that? When you start doing such questioning, that is called inquiring. That is called viveka. But we don't do such things. Far East jayenge, Middle East jayenge. The ticket, where is it less? Where, there will be less crowd. We are thinking in that area only. Our discrimination is not properly used. We have the capacity to question and become free. But we are using the questioning within that realm and getting more and more bound. It's not independent questioning. So that's why he says, the reality alone is eternal. Everything else is ephemeral. That is called viveka. Once I get that conviction, we need to have that conviction from within at the intellect level. All these are passing, temporary, fleeting. They are not permanent. They are at the most helpful at the transactional level. For transactional purpose, it's helpful. So once I get this conviction, then what is the natural effect? The natural effect will be I will not have exaggerated value for them. In my mind, my intellect would have analyzed, therefore, I will not have an exaggerated value for it. I would have placed the right value by which my mind will be detached. That is called vairagya. Let's get on to that. I'll share the screen with you. Can you all see this on the screen?
It is not visible in my. It is not visual. I am not seeing.
Nobody else? Anybody else can see?
No, sir. Sharing is
No,
not
sir,
happening.
can't see.
Wait. I didn't share. Sorry. It's my fault.
Now visual.
Now you can see, right? Yeah, good. So the next obvious thing is first Viveka is over. So then he goes to Viragaha Kaha. Iha Swargabogeshu Icharahityam. So what is Viraga is the question. What is dispassion? The absence of desire for the enjoyments of the fruit of one's actions in this world and in heaven. Iha means here in this world. Swarga means heaven. Bogeshu, enjoyment. The fruit of your action brings enjoyment in this world and in Swarga. Icha rahityam. Iha Swarga bogeshu icha rahityam. Meaning lack of desire. That's what icha rahityam means. Having no desire. Now this gives a lot of fear. Hey, Bhagre, I have come to Vedanta and these fellows are saying I should not have desires. I want to live my life, I want to enjoy. And they are saying, I shouldn't have desires. In the book Vedanta Treatise, there's a chapter called renunciation. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita also, 5th chapter is called Yoga of Renunciation. Isn't it? Karma Sannyasa Yoga, Yoga of Renunciation of Action. That is chapter 5. This renunciation is the crux in Vedanta, and it is that which is mostly misunderstood and puts fear in everybody. People just want to run away. Hey Baba, I don't want this. Because icharahityam, iha swargabogeshu icharahityam. Hare Baba. All these fellows are old fellows, knee problem they have. Usually this also happens when they come to the class, youngsters. They see all old fellows, including the teacher who is having no black hair. All old fellows are sitting and they're all, physically incapacitated also, saying, what is there in this world? This is not for us. I'm young. Let me go. No. In fact, when you understand this word dispassion, renunciation, vairagya, viraga correctly, you will understand that this is essential for you to enjoy. There's an Upanishad called Isavasya Upanishad. The very first mantra, it has only 18 mantras. In the very first mantra, the Guru says, may you enjoy through renunciation. Isavasya midam sarvam yad kincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjita magrida kasya svidana. That is the mantra. So he says, may you enjoy through detachment. May you enjoy through renunciation. Renunciation is understood as if it's a physical thing to be done. Renouncing is not just physical. Some people may physically renounce and have a certain lifestyle, but it has got nothing to do with physical, it's to do with mental attitude. And that comes because of Viveka, the previous one. To the extent you do viveka, to that extent you will have vairagya. And to the extent you have vairagya, you will be able to do better viveka, better inquiry. So what he's saying is, they are like two pedals of a bicycle. You press one, the cycle moves, the other one comes up, you press that, the cycle moves ahead. So they are supplement and complement each other. This viveka and vairagya. So what is this vairagya? We need to understand. What is he saying? He is saying, Iha swarga bhogeshu ichcha ragityam. Having no desire for the enjoyments in this world and in heaven. And how do you get the enjoyment? The enjoyments come as a result of your actions. So what are these enjoyments? The fruit of one's action. Supposing you are hungry, you go to the restaurant, that itself is an action. You have to go to the restaurant, or in your house, you have to go to the kitchen, cook. You have to do some action. And in the restaurant, you're sitting, menu card is there. You see the menu card, will you get satisfied? You have to order the food and then eat it. Action has to be done for you to satisfy the hunger. So the enjoyment comes from action. Please understand this. Simply sitting down, mentally indulging in some thoughts and thinking that is enjoyment, that is madness. So one's own action brings the result, the fruit. So much effort goes in. That's what we need to understand. Isn't it? Now you see, people who are doing well in their life, especially materially, who doesn't want to do well in the world materially? Who doesn't want to be rich? Everybody would like to be rich. But you are not ready to put in that effort. It is tremendous effort that has brought them to that level. And consistently they are doing it to maintain it. So the thing is, these things you are enjoying today, and you can enjoy certain things in the future based on your so much of effort. So should we question or not that अरे यार इतना effort में डाल रहा हूँ, बाद में मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? Supposing I'm only getting consolation prize. What is the use? Just getting consolation prize. So this questioning will bring this understanding in us that so much effort, and finally what I'm getting is impermanent thing. And we have lived our life for quite many years now, and we have put in so many efforts and achieved many things. But now we see, all these are impermanent. Everything is impermanent. Then, did I waste my time? So once you get into that frequency of thinking and understanding comes, as a result, what happens is you will not have any exaggerated value for these things that I must get this, I must put in this effort. No, I must now start directing my efforts towards what is permanent. At least now, let me direct my efforts towards what is permanent. And while I am putting efforts towards what is permanent, my stomach is there, it will obviously every now and then make its presence known. So I need to satisfy my stomach, I need to quench my hunger. So, uske liye I need certain material things. So my attitude towards material things will be what? It will be transactional. It will be purely transactional. Thereafter, it is not like I want it. That is what he's saying here. That desire to work and earn that with the hope of enjoying will not be there. So, what is therefore saying is, with viveka, you will develop vairagya. Vairagya is not shunning the world. Vairagya is not running away from the world. See, in the world, you will find only two types of people. One running after the world, other running away from the world, constantly running. And while they are running, they are going on, putting a lot of stuff into their bags, and then with that burden they are running. And only the fellows who are standing, sitting, enjoying. Everybody else is constantly running. So all he says is this running, you have to understand the mental running we are talking about. We're not talking about physical running. So the mind is what? Constantly running. Flow of thought is called mind. Isn't it? The thoughts are constantly flowing. And when it flows, it wants to acquire this, that, and going on acquiring. All that is acquired is impermanent stuff. Everything that I acquired in this world and whatever I want to acquire in future, like heaven, all these things are all temporary, passing, fleeting. The moment I understand that, then I will not have a desire for it. Desire means what? If I get that, I will be happy. When I understand that there is no happiness in it inherently, why will I run after it? When I have done that experiment, exercise, through questioning, I won't run after it. My mind will be calm. Then when I need it for transactional purpose, with that calm mind, I can discriminate, think, and control my mind and direct my actions, and I can achieve it. In fact, to be able to achieve things in the world, you need detachment. And when you are contacting it, when your mind is not running and it is calm, you register the contact. In fact, only the person who's detached enjoys. So that's why we say renunciation is the key to success. And renunciation is bliss, is enjoyment. That's why in the Isavasya Upanishad, he says, Tena tyaktena bhunchita. May you enjoy through renunciation. Enjoyment is only possible through renunciation. You find this out. All the time running. Even breakfast you are having in the car. In a hurry. What are you registering? What are you really enjoying? So therefore, it's not to be misunderstood. Oh, I have no desire, then this fellow is useless. In fact, to the extent you have this detachment, to that extent you can achieve things in life. You can be successful with detachment. You can enjoy your success also. You can be successful and progress, grow with detachment. Without detachment, from the worldly point of view, you may be successful because their definition of success is just acquiring. The real progress is you also enjoy your success. You also have peace with it. That is called real growth. So that's what he's saying. Viragaha kaha iha swarga bhogeshu icha ragityam. So whatever you get in this world or anywhere else, you understand all this madness. Because they also belong to the same category only. They all belong to the same category. What category? Coming and going category. So why should I put in so much effort just to acquire this coming and going thing? Except for those things that will be helpful for me to take care of myself till the time I achieve that moksha for which I need to do inquiry. So those things I'll keep. For which the fact that I'm detached, I'll be able to work and get it. So this is called vairagya. Vairagya is not a strong dislike. And it's not also temporary vairagya. Temporarily, when the father dies, one of the sons may say, father himself is gone. I'm not interested in the properties and all that. Let the other brothers and sisters keep it. And he'll say, I don't want. After 1 or 2 years, he'll say, Arey Baba, please give me my share. I made a mistake. And now they are saying, Arey, we can't give you. Then he goes to the court and all that happens. It's called Smashana Vairagya. It's not that. It's coming out of clarity. You understand? It is coming out of thinking, questioning, understanding that all these are impermanent. They are only helpful in the transaction level. So in my transaction level, if they are needed, I'll keep it. Otherwise, why should I mentally keep on thinking about it and lose my peace? So that is all it is. So we say dispassion is not giving up. Dispassion is growing up. You grow out of it. You've grown out of toy world now. I suppose so. So we know, we all have played that game Monopoly when we were growing up. You play the game and you have so much money, put it in the bank, you multiply it, you buy this property, that thing, all that we have done. Now, that time when we were small and growing up and we were playing the game, we were so involved and caught up. Now you may play with your children or grandchildren. Now you just have no attachment to it. It's just tamasha for you. Why? You've grown out of it. So detachment is growth. Please understand. Growing out of the objects of the world. Growing out of all the things that the world can offer. Beautifully, it is summarized by Swami Ramtirtha. He says, iron and gold is good for buying iron and gold. Outstanding statement. Iron and gold is good for buying iron and gold. Which means what? Not for happiness. Iron and gold खरीदने के लिए iron and gold is needed. That I understand. I have that much understand. That's called detachment. Otherwise, what is there and you live, be foolish. So when I have detachment, my mind will be quiet, which will be conducive for inquiry. That's why I said detachment and viveka, that is vairagya and viveka, they go hand in hand. When you do viveka, you develop detachment. To the extent you have detachment, you can do more vairagya. So that's why the student should have both. So through the studying, you develop little detachment. So what do? You practice that in your house. In your life, in everything. You lead a simple life with high thoughts. That's what it means. That is spiritual life. Simple also is a relative term. Now, simple means what? If I have only one chapel, I'm simple. Do I decide like that? Simple means whatever lifestyle I need to be able to think, that I maintain. This is simple. Otherwise, just like that, if you say simple, who determines what is simple life? So, simple living with high thoughts. Vairagya and Viveka go hand in hand. Another very interesting thing is, when you have Vairagya, means what? You are not dependent on anything. That's what it means. You understand that it's a, chair made up of temporary stuff for a shooting purpose. When you're acting in the movie or a serial or something, many things are all temporarily made. Sword and all that. You know very well they're all fake. No, you will use it in that movie while you're acting. But you won't think of taking it home. It looks like a, diamond-studded scabbard. People who are watching the movie, it looks like it is diamond-studded scabbard. It is all fake. You know that. So when you know that, will you try to take the so-called diamond-studded scabbard home? You use it, but you won't be dependent on it. And when you're not dependent on it, what happens? No fear. In Tamil, they say, Madila ganam, variyila bhayam. Madi means your pocket. It really means your, thighs. Meaning, in your personality. Madila ganam. In your pocket, if you have diamonds. Variyila bhayam. You're going in the path, when you're going home or somewhere, you just got salary, and nowadays everything gets transferred to the bank, So money, they were giving you cash salary those days, and people carry cash. And they're scared. Remember, I'm traveling in Mumbai train and all, so much crowd. So it can be looted. So fear. So when you have dependence, there is fear. That's what Thiruvalluvar beautifully says in again Tirukkural in Tamil. Yadenin நீங்கியான் நோதல் அதனின் இல. From whatever I have become detached, from that there is no grief. Isn't it? Mentally. I am detached mentally. How can there be fear from that? Because there is no madila ganam. In my pocket, I am not having value for it. I think it's Oliver Goldsmith who said, he who steals my purse steals trash. He's not talking about the purse which has no money. He's talking about the purse which has full of pounds and dollars. And he's saying, he who steals my purse steals trash. Means what? This is trash only. You go to a guru, and let's say one of his devotees gave him some very expensive watch. For him, it doesn't matter. He just needs to use it for, seeing the time and all that. He's wearing it. He couldn't care less whether it is expensive or not expensive. So he's wearing it. Now, you are thinking of only stealing that watch. Actually, that guru has in-depth knowledge. You are not interested in that knowledge. So what are you actually stealing? When you're stealing his watch, you're stealing trash. When you go to a guru, he can teach you how to fish, which will make you permanently free. But you are trying to steal the fishes that he has got. So that shows that that's the level of your thinking. So that's what he's saying. Yadenin ningiyan nodal adanin ila. From whatever you have become free mentally, from that there is no grief. Isn't it? There's absolutely no grief. If you lead life with independence. This is called detachment, that mental freedom, that mental independence that is brought about due to understanding is called detachment. So, it has got nothing to do with whether you have it or not have it. You may please have it, as many as that is required for transactional purpose. See, supposing you're playing the role of a king in life, to administer a country, you need so many things. So the king will have, accordingly, so many things. But the king can be detached. And in fact, only when he's detached, he'll be able to execute all his actions brilliantly and sleep peacefully at night. It is said in Ramayana, the day when Lord Ram was told to leave, the middle of the night he was called. Next, it was all announced. Next day you are going to be coronated. All posters, everything, email, everything sent. WhatsApp messages, everything sent. Next day morning, Lord Ram is going to be coronated. The whole world is looking forward for that. And middle of the night he is called and said, excuse me, there's a change in plan. And what plan? It's not like instead of coronating you to this world, we are coronating you for a heaven. No. You are now going to be sent to forest for 14 years. Not just one small trip. 14 years. And these are the conditions. You have to live like this, etc. He says, okay, no problem. And he happily goes there. And it is said in Ramayana, that night he slept as peacefully as he slept in the palace. It is detachment. So, you can also develop this quality of detachment. One is, of course, through Viveka, we develop detachment automatically. Other is, we can also develop this detachment. Understand, listen, in life, everybody is getting according to their karma. Right? Whatever I've got now, it's according to my karma, wherever I am. So, let me in this area dedicatedly do my actions for that total, for that divinity, which is present in everybody. So when I function like that, my mind is not thinking, hey, can I get this more? Can I get this? Can I get this? Listen. Why I'm born in poverty? Why somebody else is born in opulence? Why I'm in middle class? Why? You are born in this class now because you have decided to study Vedanta. So like that, everybody has some karma for which you are born. So if you continue doing, accepting and doing actions like that, then you will also see many things in life. But the fact that you are not living life just to accumulate them, you will slowly start developing vairagya. So that lifestyle acceptance and living also helps in developing vairagya. And the more and more you develop vairagya, your mind becomes purified of all the vasanas and desires, which is what is actually burdening you, disturbing you. Sorry. So, when you do viveka, you develop vairagya, means purification of the mind. And that purification makes you lead life freely without any fear. Abhayam. Abhayam means fear. Abhayam means no fear, no insecurity. Because I'm as though sitting. God, I know it's a temporary structure, not permanent. I had gone to Hyderabad for something, and there, after our work and all that, they said, can we go somewhere? So we went to this place. They said, you must come with us to this studio. I forget that studio name. And then there, they have those structure and everything still there, used for taking that movie, Bahubali. You see the movie, you see that grandeur and all that, and there you see it's just small structure. And when they show it through the camera in the particular angle, obviously they have other things associated with it. So it looks like some huge palace and this and that. So when you know it intrinsically, when you understand it intrinsically, automatically you will be detached. This is called vairagya. Viraga. Viraga is not what? Viraga is not just a dislike. I hate it. See, many times what happens, we hate certain things, but we crave for certain other things. Isn't it? We hate. I don't want. But I have interest for other things in the same level. Like for example, you may not like as a child may not like a particular toy or few toys. I don't know. I don't know. But I want those toys. Which means what? The child has still not understood that all are toys only. Within the toys, some things it dislikes, some things it likes. That is not dispassion. Dispassion means understanding that all this, in total, the whole thing, belongs to one category. What? Coming and going category, impermanent category. Then, with reference to everything which is useful for you in life, also you have the same detachment. And very interesting thing is, when you have detachment, you should understand that it is different from indifference. Indifference brings don't care attitude. Detachment brings caring attitude. Caring without insecurity. That is detachment. Let's understand this correctly. Otherwise, a lot of people become indifferent. Okay, I don't want it. That is tamas. Indifference is tamas. Detachment is sattva. So, we are discussing so much about this. You may wonder why this fellow is going on and on. This is important. A lot of fellows have ended up becoming indifferent. And you become indifferent when you're 30, and then you crave for it when you're 60. Your body may not cooperate for you to achieve it, or even if you get it, you won't enjoy it. You must understand correctly what is this detachment. With this detachment, what happens? You understand this is good for transactional purpose. So it is useful at the transaction level. So you'll take care of it. But you will not be dependent on it. As a result, you will not be feeling that insecurity. This is the beauty of this detachment. And that's why we say, when you come to spirituality, you progress materially and spiritually. So spirituality is not against living. Spirituality is enhancing living. Please understand that correctly. There's a lot of this kind of misunderstandings is the biggest problem, challenge. So that's why he clearly says, Iha swarga bhogeshu icharagityam. Tomorrow, if they offer you something superior, you understand finally all are made of what? The same five elements. The whole world is made up of five elements. And a permutation combination is all this. Isn't it? So something new. Now, what is something new? That is also made up of same five elements. When five elements themselves are impermanent, something that is made out of five elements, how they can bring me permanent happiness? So therefore, my thinking will be, this thing that you are promising, is it helpful for the pursuit of my permanent happiness? Then okay. It's not helpful. However expensive it may be, I am not interested. This is not detachment. This is disinterest. Please understand them correctly. So, we have seen Viveka, we have seen Vairagya. Next week, we'll start studying that sixfold wealth. What he calls is real wealth. What is real wealth? Sampati. Sampadhyam. What have you earned all this life? You live. What have you earned? Have you earned the true things? Truly things that needs to be earned is this sixfold things, he says. What is that? We'll study next week. Let's conclude the class now. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti. Shanti.